About 2 minutes, let everyone kind of cycle in, and then we'll start remarks.
Sounds good.
About 2 minutes, let everyone kind of cycle in, and then we'll start remarks.
Good morning, everyone. It looks like we're being joined by even more than the 42 folks who registered. So it's good to see a good turnout, and we're excited to walk through our grants management portal with you all. Going to give folks another minute to come in. All right, it looks like the participant number has stabilized, so I'm going to get started. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Noel Pfeffer, Executive Director here at CDA. And our team has been hard at work with our partners at Coastal Cloud and Worldwide Technologies to stand up a new grants management system. We learned a lot from our experience with neighborhood transformation grants last year. I think both for applicants, the public, the community, and for our CDA staff, lack of a clear application form and a clear application system created a lot of pain points. And so we took those learnings, we took some of the best practices from other cities and are applying them here in this grant management system, which folks are already engaging with. And as many have seen and used, that application portal is live. It's how we're managing this year's round of neighborhood transformation and housing production grants. But that's just the first step. What we're building out currently includes an internal facing dashboard, essentially a digital filing system tracking all of our various funding awards, grants, contracts, projects, etc. And it'll also serve as a reporting portal whereby our grantees will be able to provide programmatic and financial reports on a regular basis, and it'll track that financial and programmatic activity over time. We're really excited, though, to walk through this with you all. Again, we think it's a dramatic improvement over the lack of a formal application form last year, but we know that there's still a lot to learn. And so we are here for you. Our team is here for you as you do navigate the portal. And today we'll just be going through at a high level how you go about creating an account, which Mirka on our team will go through, how you use the housing portal, how you submit a housing grant, and the various different steps involved there, which Stephanie on our team will walk through. And then similarly, how we do the same for neighborhood transformation grants, which Nan on our team, which we'll walk through. And then we also have Josh, Chris, and Kate from Coastal Cloud here available to answer any more detailed technical questions. So with that, again, thank you all for making the time today, and happy to, well, I'll actually have to run to another meeting in a moment, but you're in wonderful hands, and we're here to help and answer any questions that you may have. With that, I will pass it over to Mirka to kick us off.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mirka Estrada. I'm a programmatic monitor here at CDA, and I'm going to be walking everybody through an account creation through our new Salesforce application portal. So can everybody see my screen? I actually can't see anybody. So if somebody could come off mute and tell me, that'd be great.
Yeah, see your screen.
Perfect.
Looking
Thank
great.
you. Yay, thank you. Okay, so this is what our application portal looks like when you click or when you type in this URL, or you go to our CDA NOFA website, and you can click on the link there. But the first thing we're going to do is going to create an account. here on the right corner, we're going to go ahead and create an account. And this is what that website should look like for your account creation. The first thing we're going to do is put in the name that you're going to have associated with this account. In this case, I'm going to do CDA because I'm going to be using our CDA email. Last name is going to be Grants because that's related to the email we're going to use. The valid email address in this case is going to be CDA Grants at St. Louis-mo.gov. And as you can see, your username field is going to self-populate. And please take note that it's going to be amended with .cda at the end. So when you write down your username on your sticky note or on your file, wherever it is that you keep track, please note that your username is going to be amended with .cda. That's one of the biggest issues we've seen when people are trying to log back into their account is that they forget to add that .cda. So please make a note of that. I'm going to add the phone number associated with the account. I'm going to add my own in this case. Okay, and the account name. So the account name is going to be associated with your account. And when you log in and start creating an application, your account name is going to pop up. It's going to populate at the beginning of the application. So this is a name that can either be associated with the organization you're with, or any other information that is going to be a part of your application. So in this case, again, I work for the Community Development Administration. So I'm going to make that my account name because I would be submitting applications if I could on our behalf. So that's going to be the account name that's going to follow my applications across different ones that I submit. So I'm just going to create my password, make sure that it's a strong password that will not get hacked. And again, I'm going to confirm my password down here and make sure that you write this down somewhere. And so I think the biggest thing, again, is to remember that your username is going to be amended with .cda. So just please make note of that so that you can log in again. And please make note of your password. And remember that the account name doesn't have to be the same as your name. It can be related to the organization for which you're applying on behalf of. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and click submit. Okay, so we have an issue here, which says that my password cannot equal or contain anything that my username contains, which is actually a great thing to know. So I'm going to go ahead and switch up my password to something that is not related to my username. So be sure to do that and to update your password wherever it is that you store it. And I'm going to click submit again. Hopefully it works this time. Perfect. And so now I'm able to log in to where it is that I'm going to submit applications. To view all the applications, I'm going to click apply now. When I want to log out, I'm going to go to the left-hand corner at the top and I'm going to click log out. So hopefully that clears up any confusion about creating an account where you can submit your applications. And please remember to amend your username with .cda. And I think now we're going to kick it to Stephanie, who's going to work on housing.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am going to go, thank you, Mirka. I am going to run through the housing applications, all 4 of them, just kind of page by page and show you what that looks like, kind of point out what's required and where to upload certain things. I do just want to point out that today's webinar is focused on technical questions. Any content related questions about the NOFA, if you could please continue to submit those questions to CDA NOFA email, then we will be sure to answer any content related questions through that system. Let me go ahead and get my screen shared for you. Okay, are you all able to see the login page? Thank you.
Looks good.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and log in with the credentials that Mirka just established. Okay, and this is the landing page that you will find when you are properly logged in. You'll click on Apply Now. And here you'll find a list of all the open funding opportunities that you can apply to. So we're going to start up here with the for sale application. Click the radio button and click Start New Application. Okay. On the left-hand side here, you will find a menu of all the sections or pages of the application, starting here with the account information. So pretty basic information about your agency. This includes your agency's address and phone number. You'll see a red asterisk wherever there is required information. So be on the lookout for those particular fields. You will not be able to proceed unless there is an answer to those questions. WBE and MWBE, federal ID number, number of years in operation, and UEI number are required. There is a link here anywhere you see blue text that underlines when you hover over it. That is a link to a resource for you. Type of entity is required. There's a drop-down box. And optional questions for community-based development organizations or community housing development organizations. You can add a contact here for who is going to be the contact person regarding this grant for your application. Next page is your project information. A question that we got several times was where do we go to download the pro forma? The pro forma on each application is going to be located in the second section titled Project Information in this link right here that's in blue text right at the top of the page. You see when you hover, it underlines. If you click on that, it will download the pro forma workbook. You can fill that out and re-upload on the page where it has the opportunity to attach that. So I'm not seeing a preview. I'm not sure if that is a one-time issue or if that's a technical issue, but we should probably make note of that.
Stephanie, it won't preview an Excel document. It'll preview Words and PDFs, but
Okay.
right. But the download's right there in the middle at the top.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So just a note, if you don't see the preview, that it is still available to download. Thank you, Josh. So again, you'll just continue to fill out each of the fields there, paying attention to anything with a red asterisk that indicates it's required. Filling out a table, so listing your most recently completed projects. If you just click the add button here, it will open up a box with fields for you to add your project. You can continue to add as many projects as you would like. As you save that, you will see that it will list down here. You do have an option to edit or delete if you need to, and you can just continue to fill out a new set of fields for each project that you would like to include in your application. Property information. Again, you can add as many properties as you are proposing in this particular application. The properties that you propose per application should all be considered part of that one project. Separate projects should be submitted on separate applications. So same structure here, you just add, type in the information, save and complete, and you can continue adding as many addresses as you need. Site information. So you want to fill out these details for each property. A feature that I know particularly the housing section is very excited about is the ability to upload photos of your project site. You can, I believe, take your device right out to the field and upload directly into the portal. You can also upload a JPEG file from another source. These are not required, you can see, but we did list the angles of the photos that we would like if you're able to get them. Development team and schedule. Once again, we have another table. Click on add. You can add your development team member and continue to add as many as you need to. Save when you're finished. Okay. Another table down here, same thing, add, fill out your information, save, and continue adding as many times as you need to. Make sure to go through all of the questions on each page and looking out for anything that is required. Home pricing and market assessment. Once again, another table, add. It will prompt you for the data that we're looking for. Save when finished. Add as many as you need. Continue to scroll down. Be sure you check the whole page and scroll all the way to the bottom and answer all the required questions. Relocation information. Again, we have a resource link here for you regarding the Uniform Relocation Act, if you need to resource that, if relocation is required for your project. Exhibits and form templates. We have a couple of exhibits here that are informational only. We also have some documents that require signature and or other data for you to complete and then upload. So each of those is available here on that page. And then we have the section where you go to upload your documents. So you'll see this one that is absolutely required is the pro forma that goes up here. I do want to point out this signed certification form. We've actually incorporated that into this next section here under certifications. So there is not a separate certification form to upload here. As long as you go to this certification page and complete each of those boxes, that requirement is completed. And there is a spot to upload each of your additional documents. I do want to point out here as well, there is a spot to upload your CHOTO certification letter or the checklist, the application. There is not a separate upload for CUBDOs, but you can upload more than one document in this section. So please upload both your CUBDO and your CHOTO certifications here. The next page is that certification page. Please make sure you read through each box so that you understand what you are agreeing to and what is expected on this application, and save and complete. And then finally, we have your signatures page. So the electronic signature here is treated as a hard copy signature. And that is the complete for sale application. I'm going to go ahead and click back through now the rental application. and point out anything that may be different or significant from the for sale. All of the applications are laid out basically the same with your menu on the left and the same very similar different sections or pages. Your account information, that will all be the same. And I do believe, Josh or Chris, please correct me if I am wrong, but I do believe that once your entity's profile is saved under your account, that you can populate these applications with that information.
That is correct. If you've gone through it one time and filled out all of the account address, UEI number stuff, then for subsequent applications, you don't have to do that again because we've stored that as part of the data. And that button right there is key when you finish that account, is that confirm account information. So just be sure to click that when you finish that.
Thank you. Okay. Project information, once again, here is that downloadable rental pro forma. That is a required attachment. And it does prompt you here, have I downloaded the newest version of the pro forma for loading? So it gives you a reminder that you need to do that. Planned number of you, go ahead.
Steph, could I add real quick?
Yeah.
When all of the required data fields are completed on a section, you can click the save completed section and the red dots on the left will turn to a green dot. So that section is marked as complete. If you're going through the application and you don't finish it all and you want to come back later, you just save for later. It will save the data that you put in. And then if you come back another day or two because you need to get some more information, you can go to My Applications and go grab that application you had already started and finish filling it out later. And it will already have saved some of that information.
Thank you very much. Okay. On your rental projects, there is a separate field for CDA assisted units. So you may have a certain number of units in your project, but you want to be sure to indicate the number of units that CDA will be subsidizing. Property information, very similar to the for sale application. Add as many properties as is in your project and upload photos if you have access to that. The ongoing management experience, structure, and capacity. Again, look out for the red asterisk for the required fields. Rental and operating assistance information. Supportive services information. We would like to know if your rental project has supportive services, including a letter from your service providers. And this is required over here. Do you provide supportive services to your tenants? So just look out for that. If you don't pass over this, if you don't happen to have supportive services, you will still need to check this box here. Your development schedule and team information, just like for sale. Market assessment and leasing. These are required. Again, relocation information also is subject to the federal guidelines for relocation with the resource attached here. Exhibits, forms, and templates, just like the for sale. These are each downloadable. Required hard copy applications and attachments. This is where you upload your hard copies. And again, you can submit your CHOTO and CUBDO documents both here under the CHOTO certification letter. Your signed certification page required. And applicant signatures. I'm going to show you this right here too, My Applications. If you click on that, it will take you to all of the applications you have started, and it will show you the application name or number. that has been assigned to that. So you can access your applications by clicking on My Applications. And if you had saved information for later and you want to come back to work on it some more, you can access it through here and just click on the link for that application that you already started. Next, I'm going to pop through the ARPA home ARP rental. This is going to be very similar to the HUD rental application, with just a couple differences, reflecting the requirements for the home ARP program. Primarily under project information, you have these required fields that pertain specifically to home ARP. Property information is the same format. Add a property, go back as many times as you need. Upload photos. This one does have a required exterior front of site. I don't know, Josh, if there's a way to take that requirement off of that in case they don't have access to take a picture.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Ongoing management experience, structure, and capacity, just like the HUD application. Supportive services. A required yes or no question on that page. Upload your letters of support from your service providers or intended service providers. Your development schedule and team information. You have a couple of tables to fill out there. Add as many entries as you need, and don't forget the required question down at the bottom. Market assessment and leasing, those are all required. Relocation, the same as the previous applications. Exhibits and forms, the same but different. There's not as many that are required for this program. Required hard copy uploads. Your certification page and signatures. Next is the supportive services application. There are a couple things that I do want to point out on this one, as this is a little different, as this one is part of the housing production cycle, but it is services. It is not actually construction. You have a checklist of items here for your reference. General information, this is your entity account information. Once again, you can populate that with your already established account info. Couple of required questions for you to check at the bottom. And this section here is for you to list the experience of the developers that you'll be partnering with. So the developers who are building the housing project that these services will be attached to. Organization narratives, you have a required attachment here and some required fields. Operating budgets, this is another table entry. Create new budget and follow the fields and prompts. Save and calculate when finished. Your proposed activity description and funding requests. Required fields here. This is another one, Josh, that I think we can remove the requirement to load the economic justice map. That's just a resource for you. You can download the map here to see if your project fits into one of the economic justice index tranches, but it is not necessary to re-upload that map. Proposed activities and outcomes. Add as many as you need to. List criteria for each output, add as many as you need to. And complete a reimbursement analysis for the home art program cost. There is a required upload here. I did notice that we did not include that form within this application for you. So we are going to make that available on the CDA website. We do have a fillable PDF that you can complete for the reimbursement analysis, as well as your personnel schedules. We have a part-time personnel schedule and a full-time personnel schedule. Those are all three fillable PDFs, and we will make those available on the CDA website that you can download from there and upload to your application here. And your acknowledgements, certification, and signature. We've got one more to go. I hope I'm doing okay on time. Vacant unit turns. This one you will find probably most similar to the HUD rental application. I don't think there's anything different on this initial page. Your project information. Here is the download. So we did have a discrepancy early on where we accidentally made the HUD rental pro forma available on this page. It has been corrected. However, it will only update for those who are starting with a new account. So if you have not created an account yet and you create a new account and you go in to apply for the vacant unit turns, you will find the correct pro forma available to download directly from the application. However, if you have already created your account and you need to access that, it is currently available on the CDA website, the vacant unit turns pro forma. So please go to the CDA website, download it from there, and then upload it to your application on the hard copy application and attachment screen.
And Stephanie, if I can just chime in quickly, I'm going to work on getting that fixed. So anyone that has started an application already, I'll go in and update that to the correct link as well. So I hope to have that done by the afternoon today.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, dokie. Property information, same as all the others. Add as many as you need. Make sure you check all the required boxes. Upload property photos. Ongoing management experience, same as the rentals. Supportive services information. Development schedule and team information. Table entries there and a couple required questions. Market assessment and leasing, same as the other rental page, those are required. Relocation information is the same as the rest. Your exhibits and forms templates should look familiar by now. Your upload page. I should note here the vacant unit turns is not HUD funding, so therefore CHODOs and CUBDOs do not apply. So there will not be an upload for those documents on the VUT. It will not be required. Certifications and signatures. Okay. So I am Not sure how to stop sharing. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, we will open up for a couple of questions if we have any, Tommy.
Great, and thank you, Stephanie. We have questions in the chat, and then also if you'd like to ask questions live, just raise your hand. We're going to focus just on the housing production themed NOFAs here. And then we'll go to Nan and go through neighborhood transformation grants, neighborhood plan implementation. So let's just go through the chat. Over here, Ricky asks, I'm working on the application for vacant unit turns. In Salesforce, I see there's an option to download the rental pro forma, but then under the tab required hard copy applications and attachments, I'm asked to upload the vacant unit turns pro forma. Is there a difference between those two pro formas? Can I upload the rental pro forma under vacant unit turns? So it sounds like they are working on maybe community development grants, RFP, and we have the vacant unit turns pro forma in there. I'm not sure I understand vacant lot turns.
Yeah, so I don't know about lots necessarily, but I can reflect back just to our recent comments about the wrong application initially being attached to the vacant unit turns application. And so if you were someone who created their account early on and you are only still seeing the rental application attached to the vacant unit turns portal, then you will need to go to the CDA website and download the vacant unit turns pro forma. It is different from the HUD rental pro forma.
Yes.
And in the meantime, Chris is going to work on correcting that glitch. But for now, if you currently have an account and you need to access the vacant unit turns pro forma, please download that from the CDA website.
And the link to that and other resources and documents for housing production, I just put in the chat. And vacant lot turns, Ricky, if you want to come back into the chat and clarify that, maybe we can work on that. Linda, is there a way to see all the questions ahead of time? Like print out the whole list of questions? And then are there any character counts in the fields within the portal? So two-parter there.
To refer to Josh and Chris on that one.
If it's a larger box, the character counts are usually around 32,000 characters. If you need more than that, I think it will give you an error saying that it's more than that, but it's a pretty large narrative. The smaller boxes are usually like a one-line box is around 255 characters. But you'll notice bigger boxes have 3 little lines in the bottom left-hand corner for dragging and opening it all the way up so you can see all of the text that you might put in there for the longer long text boxes.
So it sounds like there should be sufficient character counts even without that interactive or live character count little thing. Yeah. And then the first part of Linda's question, can we print out the questions ahead of time? Or it sounds like you just have to kind of go page by page.
Right. It doesn't have that capability right at present time.
Okay. Let's go. We're just going to go through the chat and then we'll get to some of the live questions. And just remember, we're really focusing on technical issues here. If you have substantive questions about the NOFA itself, want to make sure you follow those instructions. We really want to keep this focused. Tiffany, can you tell me if there's still an application tab in the spreadsheet, or does the portal page replace this?
Thank you. Yes, the portal page replaces the application tab on the former pro forma workbook. So the workbook that you will download will be only the project data. all the application questions are through the Salesforce portal.
Great. Linda asks, if you mark something complete, can you go back and change it?
Josh, Chris?
Yes, yeah, you can go back and change even though you've completed it. If the section's completed, you can come back and change answers in there. Now, if you remove the answer to a required field, your green dot for the section probably will go back to red. And one other kind of piece is once there's a green dot of every section has got the green dot, the bottom of the page, instead of save for later, that button changes to a submit. And so be sure to, when you're completely done and all the sections are green, click submit, and then it will give you a page saying successful completion of your application and the status is currently pending and submitted. And you can log back in to see the status if that changes.
Great. Linda, as a follow-up, it sounds like she's having an issue with that save for later button. She says, why won't save for later save your property information?
So when you open up adding properties and any of those little tables, like adding developers or adding the prior projects, there you got to finish that table. If you just go to the bottom with save for later, that table hasn't been done. There's usually a right-hand button that when you open up a property table, click save and next for that property. That puts the property in the database, adds it to the table. So if you still see it in the editable screen and not in the table as rows of properties, then you haven't saved the property yet. So it won't save for later, just does the things outside the table, not the stuff inside the table.
Okay. And then shere's a question. What is the applicant/organizational profile document to upload? What is that? Are we familiar with that document?
So you can prepare, this is your opportunity to prepare a narrative about your organization, to provide a more detailed background on your experience and the work that you've done and your mission and goals, to give CDA a clearer picture of, you know, more than what may be available to fill out in the fields of the application.
Is there a way to collaborate with other employees for different sections? If a group is working on the same application?
So that is possible if you add additional on the account where you add other contacts for the account. You can add the contact there. And then if a request is made to the CDA team, then they can enable that person to log in and two people can work on multiple accounts for that organization or account. Stephanie, we can kind of show you guys real quick how that works. It's pretty simple.
Okay, great.
Great. And then will we need to print out the certification page to submit with our hard copy? Are we doing hard copies or is it just through the portal? And maybe I don't understand the question.
Sure. So it is a little confusing because on the upload page, it does say hard copies. We are not accepting hard copies for your submission. So all of the attachments will be uploaded on that upload page. The certification page will not be printed. It will record your response when you click the boxes for each of those points that we're certifying. So the second to last page that says certifications, that is the certification document.
Okay. I want to acknowledge that it's 9:49. We're going to go past 10 o'clock, everyone. We want to make sure we're here for you. We want to make sure your applications are getting through and successful. So stay with us. We're going to get through all of these. There's the next three questions in the chat. I want to acknowledge everyone that you asked those. We're really focusing just on IT technical matters. These are kind of related to the substance of the NOFA. You're going to want to get in that NOFA and find, you know, CDA, NOFA at stlewis, etc.gov, and ask those questions via that process. You know, questions about scoring, who the NOFA works for who's eligible. We want to submit those via the instructions in the NOFA, and I'm sorry, but we're really just focusing on some IT stuff. It's a new system, and we're trying to make it work. So we're all going to work together on this. So I'm sorry, I'm going to skip those questions, but I do want to acknowledge you and thank you for being here. Get in the NOFA and email those questions in so we can get those answers back to you. Okay. Let's keep going through. These Q&As. Okay, so Jennifer and Kevin, let's we're gonna have a big Q&A at the end for everything. And that these questions about kind of submit and test. Let's get to that with everything else. It's 9:51 and people might have meetings. So let's get Nan in here and let's start on NTG. And those questions we're gonna get back to you for sure. And we're gonna have a big general Q&A after we talk about neighborhood transformation grades. So let's keep going forward. And thank you for your patience, everyone. We're all working through this together. It's a new system and we're excited, but we all got to work together through it.
All right, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Tom. So I'm going to go ahead and log in again to the system, which unfortunately expired. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to walk us through the neighborhood plan implementation grant box by box, and then I'm also going to go through one of the RFPs that we have and show how those two applications work. So as always,
Nan,
we
can
go
you shift
in.
your screen? Sorry, we're not seeing your website right now. We're seeing your desktop file.
Other monitor. Yeah, close.
Thank you so much for letting me know that. Here, let me do this. All right, is that better? All right. Thank you so much for letting me know that. This would have been a less helpful presentation if you could not see what I was doing. So let's go into neighborhood plan implementation. We're going to start a new application. This first one asks whether or not we have downloaded the RFP. Please believe me, then I tell you I have this RFP downloaded on my computer about 25 times. So I'm going to click yes. And then here is the account information. I'm going to go ahead and complete this. That way we can actually submit this application and I can show you the full process. So let's put my street address. The city I live in is, of course, St. Louis, Missouri. And my zip code is 63101. Phone number. Let's say let's select no to these questions, but let's pretend, yes, I am a neighborhood association. My federal ID number, please put your actual ID number in. I'm going to use a lot of fake information in this just for demonstration purposes. I've also been in operation for 3 years. My UEI number is also 3. Let's say I am a nonprofit organization. Yes, I'm registered with the state of Missouri. Yes, this determination has been made by the IRS. And again, my number is 3. Then my answer to that is no. I'm not a developer, so I'm not going to need to complete the Chodo and the Cubdo sections, but if you are a developer, please complete those. And I'm going to go ahead and click confirm account information. Oh, see, the system is smarter than I am, and it wants a real number. There we go. Okay, that all looks good. I should flag, let's say you're not a nonprofit association. Let's say you are a sole proprietorship or you're a corporation. These questions will change slightly depending on the specifics of your organization. So once you've completed your account information, it will include your contact information. This is correct for me. I am CDA grants, but I have the ability to add someone else if I want to. let's say I'm gonna create CDA 2 grants. Their email is gonna be CDA grants 2 at stlouis-mo.gov. Let's pretend this person is a general partner, give them a fake social security number and a fake ownership. Okay. The next question is whether or not my organization is the lead for this application. For the neighborhood plan implementation, we understand that many applications may be submitted as teams and we need to have a lead contact person. So if I was the lead contact person or my organization was the lead, I would say yes. But let's say I'm not. Let's pretend that I'm filling this out on behalf of my team, but I'm not going to be the lead organization. In which case, I'm going to need to complete this information for the lead organization. So let's say its entity name is lead. It is also a nonprofit. It's also a neighborhood association. In this box, I'll explain my relationship. In this box, I'm going to put again a fake tax ID number and a fake UEI number. And it's going to want me to include the board members for this organization. So let's say this is board member 1. And it pops up here. And then finally, it's asking me if I'm the main contact person for the lead organization. I'm not. I'm just someone who's going to be filling this out on their behalf. So I'm going to select no, but we're going to want to know who that main contact in person is. They're going to put their first name here, the last name here, their title, their email address, and their phone number. For the neighborhood plan, NOFA, we need to know which plan this relates to. I'm just going to randomly choose the WeCollab plan. And it's going to ask me what neighborhoods my proposal relates to. So I'm going to put the name of the neighborhoods here. All right, I believe I've completed all of the boxes. So I'm going to click Save Completed Section. And I did it correctly. And you'll see I have a green check mark over here to say I filled everything out correct. The next one is whether or not this application is on behalf of a team of organizations. I am going to apply on behalf of a team. So let's put in my other team members. So my first one is going to be team member 1. They are going to be another neighborhood association. We're going to save their name. And then my other one will be team member 2. Let's say they're a local nonprofit. So I save those in and I click Save Completed Section. Now I'm into the proposal overview, excuse me. This first box is where we're going to put the abstract. This next box is where the key performance indicators will go. And now we're going to upload some files. So the first one asks for the budget. So let me do this actually. So let's upload this document. And you'll see that a PDF is not accepted for this section. So instead, let me upload my Word test document. There we go. If I want to make sure that's the right one, I can click preview down here and it will show me a preview of the document. Here we go. It's just a file that says test. I'm going to put some more text in these boxes. And then I finally get to this table that's asking me to provide to break down my budget into the different activities that will be a part of that budget. So let's say I'm going to do propose activity A, and let's say my budget is $4. And I don't need a city department to assist me with this activity. I will save that. And then my other activity is going to be activity B. Oh, excuse me. And its budget will be $6. You know what, actually, I don't think it should be $6. I think this should be $60. So I'm going to go in and edit it by clicking on the little pencil icon to the right. I'm asked to upload some more files. So let's pull out my test files and put those in here. I then come to a table that asks me to identify my different sources of funding. So let's say I'm going to use a grant to help me pay for my proposed activity. It's a private grant and it was for $14. So I can go ahead and save that, and it shows up here in this table. I don't have any additional sources of leverage, so I'm going to leave this blank. I'm going to leave this blank, but I am going to upload a map of my activities. Sorry about that. Okay. I believe I've completed everything here, so I'm going to click Save Completed Section. And again, I got the little green mark that I completed all the necessary fields. This next one here asked me to give some specific details about those activities I listed in the last screen. So I think I listed activity A. I'm going to put a description in this box. I'm going to have some partners that are going to help me do it. I believe I said this activity was $4. I think it's going to last from June until August of 2025. I think it's going to have a big impact, and it's going to be located in a park. I can save all that information, and it shows up in this table here. Let's see if I have a site plan for my activities. I do. So I'm going to upload that file here. And let's say I also have some drawings, and I can upload those here. Save completed section. All right, let's upload a letter of support from a local organization. You can put these here from nonprofits, businesses, people who you think might be helpful to include. So they're letters of support. And actually, you know what? I think I got a couple letters of support. And I can upload a few different files here because everyone supports my project and they all wrote me wonderful letters I want to share. So I can upload all of those here and save this section. This next section here is, just as Stephanie showed, it is a list of documents that we will need you to complete and upload. We did get some comments that some of the links were not working or people weren't able to find the necessary documents. If you go to the website for our NOFA, the Neighborhood Plan Implementation NOFA website, it's on the CDA website. It's probably where you downloaded the NOFA to begin with. You'll see the NOFA, you'll see our Q&As, and then you'll also see these attachments. So if you're not able to access them on the portal, you can also access them here. All right. You will need to click save on this section so that we know that it is complete. All right, so then we get to the part where we need to upload all the files, and I do apologize, this will take a moment for me to copy over the files, but I want to do so we can show you how to actually submit the final application. And just as Stephanie said, the ones that, the ones that have little red stars next to them are the ones where we have required files. The other ones may be applicable to your situation, but they're not specifically required. The other thing I do want to note while I'm doing this is you'll notice that I'm using the same file that's called test for everything. The system is automatically applying the correct name to it. So you can see here, original file name is testfile.pdf, but the system is renaming it to be the lobbying activity certification file. And last one. Okay. I've gone ahead and completed all of my file uploads, so I'm going to click save. Oh, no, and it's told me no, I forgot one, and it brought me back up to this section. So let me upload my conflict of interest requirements. And now let's see, yes. Finally, it brings me to my certification page, so I'm going to certify that all of these things are true. And then finally, I'm going to click save at the bottom. And you'll notice that now that I have all green check marks at the bottom, I now have the option to save or to submit. So I am happy with my application. I'm going to go ahead and click submit. It's going to ask me to confirm. I do confirm, and it says congratulations. Now, when I go into my applications, you will see here the ones that we've been creating throughout this morning. Here's my application for neighborhood plan implementation. It's been submitted. And if I click on it, I can view my application, but I'm no longer able to edit my answers. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a slightly faster run through of one of the RFPs, and then we can take some questions afterwards. Does that work for you, Tom? Okay. So we have two RFPs. We have Community Development Grants Program Administration, and we have Neighborhood Capacity Building. The two applications are very similar. I'm going to click through the capacity building one, but happy to take questions on either after the fact. So again, I'm going to click Start New Application. I have downloaded the RFP and have reviewed it and have read it. And you'll notice that all of the account information I completed is still here. I'm still the same entity, so I'm just going to say that all of that is good and confirm my account information. My contact information is still here, and that still looks good. I'm going to put my goal here, my connection. And same option, if I am the main contact person, I'll click yes. If I want to give another source of contact, I'll put their name here. Save completed section. This one is again very similar. It is just a series of text boxes asking you for some information about your application. And then we're going to likewise upload files. I'm going to upload a timeline. Some more information we're being asked about our proposed program. You know what? I'm going to save this for later. So you'll see I don't have the green check mark because I didn't complete everything, but if I want to go back, I can go back in and my files are still here and I can add my text at a later time. Proposed budget, we're going to drop in a file for my budget and give a not to exceed price. Likewise, we have the same situation with the exhibits. We're going to click save to get our green check mark and make sure that we can move to the next screen. We're going to upload these exhibits just like we did on the last one, but I will not have you all sit through while I drag and drop 15 different documents, but it was the exact same process where I can add the files that I want. And I can preview and make sure they're the correct ones. And then finally, I go to my certifications and I click through the certifications. I make sure that I agree and that all these things are correct. And then I can save them. And if I were to go through and complete all the boxes and upload all the files, I would again have my submit button would appear here and I could submit it just like I did on the last application. Okay. All right. That was the run through of the neighborhood plan implementation NOFA and the RFP, and happy to help with any questions that are coming.
Great. We'll just go ahead and open it up to all general questions for all the topics. So you can raise your hand, we'll bring you in, and you can ask live. Let's get back into our chat and see where we left off. Okay, Jennifer asks, I'm putting test in the first required fields, but nothing is happening when I hit upload files in the following fields. And she is also saying nothing is happening when I try and drag a file to upload under, and this is all under proposal overview. Any takers? Jennifer, could you maybe just clarify that and we'll get back into that, or maybe okay, you have your hand raised, so let's bring you in. Okay. Okay, Jennifer, we have you. If you're ready, we can try and work through this together.
This might fix it. Can you
Okay.
only proceed with uploading after you have, in a preceding section, received a green check mark. So I can't skip around the application and be like, today I want to work on this section and upload things here, click save for later. That's essentially what I was doing. I was going into like proposal overview under the neighborhood plan implementation. I'm like, let me just upload some of the documents here, but that like won't work for me. So I'm wondering if the system is making it that it has to be like a successive, because Nan obviously in her demo had no problem, but I know she's also an administrator, I'm sure. So, but I could not.
It should allow you to do any section at any time.
Okay.
It's not a sequential thing, so I'm not sure why you can't load a file.
Yeah, I've tried in a bunch of different boxes.
You
I'll
try
keep,
dragging the file and dropping it on that upload,
yeah,
that little upload
yeah, and
section.
I will tell you what happens is that and I have to go here in just like 2 seconds, but it like, the field gets like a skinny red box around it, like it's not going to receive anything that I want. I keep trying to have it receive. And so I'm like, oh, maybe I need to like fill in the preceding fields that did nothing. So I don't know.
How big are the files that you're trying to put in? It does have a limit of 25 megabytes.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know if
looked
there's
at that and I tried to make sure that that wasn't the issue.
Could
So
it
yeah, you guys
possibly
can,
be? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to ask if it could possibly be the file format.
That's what I was thinking too, Stephanie.
I'm gonna keep trying. But let me say this, when I click that upload files, that won't even pop up the window to do it.
well, that would be your computer issue, and we can't control whether your computer allows pop-ups or not. So
Yeah. Hey, Jennifer, let's go ahead and do this. This seems really specific, and because it's not a substantive question, it's just a tech thing. Let's connect later and see if we can work on this together. Okay. Does that work for you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, super. Thank you. Kevin McKinney asks, will you show the submit button? Kevin, do you just want to see a screenshot of what that looks like, or I'm not sure I understand the question.
So the submit button will only become available once all of the sections are completed.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Kevin, we can connect more on that later. Matt, in what section of each application is the place to ask for the specific grant amount? Is that in the narrative, or is that a field to fill out? How much the applicant is asking for?
For the housing NOFAs, that will be presented in the pro forma.
Great.
Also, for the non-housing, there are places to upload budgets, and that's where we expect to see the total cost. For some of the RFPs, there even is a box that actually explicitly asks you to state the expected cost.
Great. Linda asked, and I put some links in the chat, can we see some of the Q&As before this webinar? So we post those weekly. Part of the competitive process is we bring in all the questions and then publish the answers for everyone. So crew here, check out each document page for the NOFA RFP and look for the questions there. So we want all those answers to be available so this is competitive. Tiffany, if there's time at the end of the webinar, and here we are all exhibits due with rental housing production application? For instance, the resolution document appears to be relevant only for entering a contract. I'm not sure I know enough about some of these different exhibits. Stephanie or Nan, does that make sense to you? Are all exhibits due with the application, or are some going to be due if there's a contract down the line?
So I did notice that excuse me, corporate resolution document was included on the housing applications. And it is geared more towards the contract. We certainly wouldn't expect your board of directors to agree to a contract that they haven't seen yet. So that particular document can be held off until you are awarded and we get closer to an executed agreement.
So there's a document in there that we might want to look at if that's a part of the application that we might remove, or let's follow up with Tiffany on that. We're getting through these Q&As. I'm just scrolling down. Carrie asks, if I'm doing 3 different projects with 3 different organizations, can I do all of them in one submission? Maybe Carrie is a professional grant writer working with different clients.
So each project will require its own application.
And sounds like 3 different organizations too. So would they have to make multiple logins, or no, just multiple projects within the portal, correct?
Well, but
Yeah.
when the account section is like a one-to-one, one account, one login to that. So if you're a consulting firm doing applications for multiple entities, it's as it exists right now, it's not built to support that. So we might have to talk. The easy workaround would be just to create separate user logins for each one. And that would get you through. But to do different entities, because if you go to a second application and created it for a different account, you'll be changing the entity for the account that you're a member of, and therefore changing it on any other applications as well. So yeah, that the use case wasn't really brought to our attention in the build.
Hey, let's bring Carrie has their hand raised. Let's go ahead and bring Carrie in. Okay, Carrie, you're in.
Yes, I was just wondering what would be the best approach? Would it be to just make separate, because each organization, they do primarily the same thing, not exactly the same thing, housing the homeless, ex-offenders, that kind of thing. So I was just wondering because it looked like you could have multiple partners. And no, I'm not a grant writer. I'm more on the development side. We'll be using new construction, maybe some previously manufactured homes, that kind of thing. But they would be different type projects. So I guess it would be best to submit those individually.
I would say yes. Each individual project on a separate application.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Carrie. Let's keep going down this list in the chat. I think we're doing pretty good job here. Some of these questions are just issues with documents that we might want to follow up on, but let's respond. Jennifer asks, unauthorized alien affidavit, can't find it in either place.
I would say, so it is uploaded on the website under the neighborhood plan implementation NOFA. It is document
Okay.
number 5. It's labeled federal work authorization. And this is the affidavit that we need completed and returned.
Okay, and I'm going to drop that link in the chat here. And then her next question, bidding general conditions does not have a signature line. Maybe you have to draw your own. Can we look at that document?
I'll take a look at
Any
that. Thank you
comment?
very much for raising that, Jennifer. I'll take a look at that and see if it needs to have a signature line added to it.
Okay. Moving through, Patrice, where can we find the attached risk assessment that is required for upload? Is not included in the NOFA or in the download list in the portal. And Patrice, if you're
I would
still
say-
around, which one is that? Is it a specific NOFA or RFP, or Nan, do you want to take that on, or?
I'll say so Patricia, if you want to jump in and add, you're welcome to. I'm presuming this is related to the neighborhood plan implementation, and it is uploaded on the website as document number 7, labeled Neighborhood Plan Implementation Risk Assessment PDF.
Okay, and that link is in the chat to where all those documents are listed on the city's website instead of in the portal. So we're working through this together. It's a brand new system, but we're getting there. So thanks for everyone's patience. Charlotte asks, how soon are questions answered that are sent to the NOPA inbox? These are those questions that we answer and publish publicly. We're doing those, uploading those weekly. Do the panelists want to add any more information? I know some NOPAs and RFPs are getting more questions than others.
I'll say so the neighborhood plan implementation and the 2 RFP NOFAs do not have a expectation of weekly answers. We set a deadline for questions. We answer those on those deadlines. For the neighborhood plan implementation, given the quantity of questions we were receiving, I expect to release 1 more set of answers before the deadline.
Okay.
For the housing questions, we will respond to your emails directly, so you will get a direct response, as well as the published responses for the public.
Oh, I would like to make one clarification. This was referencing content-based questions. For technical questions, please send those to the CDA grants email address, or submit them via the technical form so we can make sure that we are getting those addressed as quickly as we can.
Yes, thank you. And that's for the housing and the other neighborhood transformation grants.
Great, we're moving through. Patrice has another question. I just tried to open the technical assistance form linked on the CDA website, and it said it can't open because the page's address isn't valid. I just clicked on that and it worked for me. So maybe refresh the page, or I'm gonna put my email into the chat here, and let's see if something's broken on the website. And if it is, I can try and fix that, but that link should be working to go to that Google form. So we're moving through. I think we're doing well. Again, you can raise your hands if you want to ask anything live. We're going to stick around until we get through all of these, but just scrolling down this chat. Jennifer says, can this be for neighborhood implementation 2? Hoping you can comment on whether or not we have to have the corporate resolution for neighborhood implementation. Do we need a is a corporate resolution needed for neighborhood implementation? Is that an and
I'll
question?
clarify this and put something on the website to clarify this question.
Great. So I've scrolled down the chat. Raise your hands, or panelists, let me know if I'm missing anything critical. Kevin says 2 bidding documents are listed. I'm not sure if that's a question or an observation, but if you want to raise your hand and clarify, we can address that. But I have scrolled down to the bottom of the chat, and it is 10:24. You can also raise your hand and we'll bring you in live. We're here to get through these. It's a new system. We're working everything out. If you have technical questions, we want to make sure we get this this portal working for you. Again, also contact us at CDA through that CDA at ST Lewis, etc., or NagelT at stlewis-mo.gov, and we can try and work on these technical issues. So we'll see if there's any more questions or hands raised. Panel, is there anything that is relevant that maybe hasn't been asked? Should we mention again to put that .cda after your username if you're having trouble logging in? Again, anything I'm missing?
Yes, I will also just add that we recently had a question or a comment more so sent into the CDA NOFA email indicating that there were some cells on the for sale pro forma that were not calculating properly. I do want to let you all know that has been corrected and a revised for sale pro forma has been made available on the CDA website. So if you could please utilize that form of the pro forma for your submission. Thank you.
And I think maybe our team, we might have a little meeting after this and go through some of these really helpful questions. And we'll do a brief summary and get the message out to everyone. And the way to get that message is you go to stlewis-mo.gov/CDA/#subscribe and get on CDA's email list. And that's the best way to find out about helpful webinars like this one, CDA grant opportunities, and also other exciting news coming from Community Development Administration. There, I did it. That's my pitch for the e-newsletter. I won't do it again unless you want me to. So we're getting close to 10:30. I'm not seeing anything new. James raised their hand. We'll bring James in and let's just work through these questions. Here comes James. James, we brought you in. Are you there? Hey, James, you're in. If you unmute, we're ready for you. Hey, James, you're still muted. Okay. Give James a little time. You can also put your questions just right into the chat and we'll answer them from there. James? Okay. So we're over time. We're getting close to 10:30. Thank you everyone for joining us. Again, we really focused on technical questions. There were some substantive questions about the NOFA itself. Today was all about IT help. So if you have those, read the NOFA. There's instructions for asking those, and we're gonna get back to you on those. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Any final comments from our panelists? Okay, Kevin has a hand raised. Let's bring Kevin on. Okay, Kevin, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep, we're ready.
Hey, so on the application for the neighborhood, I think that's the Neighborhood Capacity Building Grant Program. Your Amazon Music system. So it has two bidding documents that are the same. Are they the actual same thing? When you look at the list of the documents that are required, it says bidding up in the top a little bit, and then it says bidding down below. Are they two separate documents or are they the same?
Thank you so much for saying this, Kevin. I'm pulling up the application now so I can see where you're referencing. This is for the capacity building one, did you say?
Yes.
Here, let me click into it and see.
When you see the list of required documents that you want signed, alien and all that kind of thing, I think it had two bidding documents. I couldn't figure out, why we would want two of them, which is the same thing. And I printed them both out. They're the same thing.
Share my screen so that you can see what I'm looking at here. Is this the screen that you're talking about?
Yeah. Bidding general
Okay.
conditions.
So at least
you
on
just,
mine, I only see it once.
yeah,
But if
okay.
they're the same document, then I wouldn't, if as long as they're the same document, they're identical, I wouldn't worry too much about it, but at least on my side, I'm only seeing the one.
Yeah, okay, I see that there. I was looking at this probably well earlier in the game, so it might have changed now.
But thank you very much for alerting us to that.
No problem at all. While I got you guys, you still got me? While I got you guys, you still got me, Tom?
Yeah, go ahead. We're here.
Well, I got you. Are we gonna get some contracts on some of these things that we got coming up this year? I got 2 CDA programs that are like 30,000 each, and then I got the other one that Nan has been working on. Are we going to get those contracts anytime soon?
Kevin, give us a call. Give us a call. We're working on it. This is an exciting era, and we have a lot going on with these neighbor transformation grants. We're here. We're working on a Friday. Give us a call. We'll get through it. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, we had James on for a second, but it looks like he went away. So I was ready to wrap up this meeting. We're here at 10:31. Any other final comments or observations or last minute opportunity for questions? Oh, okay. Well, again, thank you everyone for joining. We're here to help, and we appreciate and ask for your continued patience as we, work through a new system. Technology is advancing, and we're working with it. And continue to contact us with any barriers, issues you're finding. This is helpful for us as we improve our system and get ready for future grant cycles. So with that, I think we'll say thanks so much and have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.